Welcome to the Great E-Bike Con, how manufacturers are peddling e-motos in disguise. I'm Gwen Furrow, Director of Marin Safe Routes to Schools and an employee for the Marin County Bicycle Coalition. For 25 years, Marin Safe Routes has been dedicated to getting more kids on bikes. And personally, I have taught thousands of your students throughout Marin. If you're a parent of a student on an e-bike or e-mobility device or considering one, this presentation is for you. Marin has had many cycling firsts, and we enjoy a robust cycling culture. We're the birthplace of mountain biking. Safe Routes to Schools was founded in Marin, and because of our success, is now a national program. Of course, we have Kate Courtney with all of her firsts, and we're one of the first in the country with the explosion of e-bikes. But with national notoriety comes increased responsibility. Because Marin Safe Routes teaches upwards to 10,000 students annually, we can say with certainty that your students know the traffic laws, stopping at stop signs, wearing helmets, and following all the laws that govern our roads. For the past 2 years, we've also taught them e-bike safety, including the laws for tandem riding, which is not allowed on banana seats, by the way. All middle and high school students know the difference between a legal e-bike and an illegal e-moto because we've been teaching the difference directly to your students. Additionally, we are in a unique position of hearing firsthand from students who brag about how fast they exceed the speed limit, while their peers look on confused and concerned, feeling peer pressure to either go along with breaking laws or be left out of the friend group. I'll talk more about this impact later. The bottom line, why this matters. According to our public health dashboard, 10 to 15-year-olds are 5 times more likely to crash on an electric mobility device than on any other age group. Within the last 2 years, there have been 52 crashes with kids taken away in ambulances, and those are just the ones we know about. Most, if not all of these crashes involve the popular throttle e-motos. Of the 8 most recent e-wheel crashes reported by Central Marin, all were illegal e-motos and 75% were children under 16. This data, along with our e-moto counts at schools on and off campuses, show that e-motos, not e-bikes, are most likely involved. This is not theoretical, nor is it intended to speculate or blame parents, simply to inform you of the seriousness of these crashes and the impact on parents. Students across Marin and the country are being significantly injured with either long-lasting or permanent damage, and some have died. According to Dr. John Ma, American College of Surgeons Governor, a 2024 study in Marin showed that 1 in 8 e-bike or e-moto trauma patients brought to the emergency room by ambulance died from their injuries. Overall, the death rate for e-wheel injuries was 37 times higher than for crashes with pedal bicycles. In addition to the horrific physical pain, parents are now facing criminal and liability charges, such as child endangerment and the severe risk of Child Protective Services being called. Our goal is to advise parents to make informed decisions based upon a student's age and ability to ride something that goes very fast and is harder to stop. The benefits of cycling in general are tremendous, especially the independence and the friendship it gives them. And who doesn't want to get them outside and away from screens? But what's happening now with e-bikes isn't what it seems, and the risks severely outweigh the benefits. In short, e-motorcycles or e-motos are not e-bikes, which put parents legally, financially, and of course, emotionally at tremendous risk. Your industry experts are up in arms. That includes League of American Bicyclists, People for Bikes, the Trade Association for the U.S. Bicycle Industry, Cal Bikes, and many other bike coalitions and cycling educators throughout the country. If you don't take anything away from my presentation today, take this. Stop calling e-motorcycles or e-motos e-bikes. They are not e-bikes, and they're giving the cycling industry a bad reputation. People for Bikes said, Headlines about crashes, bans, and reckless riding are becoming more common. But here's the problem. Most of the so-called e-bikes making the news aren't electric bicycles at all. Removing e-motos from our roads is essential, not only to ensure safety and protect parents from the legal risks, but to prevent the kind of public confusion and pushback that undermines legitimate progress. As Chris White, executive director of San Francisco Bicycle Coalition, said, this is a matter of life or death. Anyone who continues to mislabel e-motorcycles as e-bikes is directly or indirectly contributing to child endangerment, and that's where we need to draw the line. To learn the difference, we must look at the California laws to describe an e-bike, which has always been intended to be a low-speed vehicle or device. A legal e-bike, which has a maximum of 750-watt motor with a maximum speed of 20 miles per hour for Class 1 and Class 2, and 28 for pedal assist Class 3. Once that speed limit is reached, the motor must stop giving assistance. But the truth is, many of the products sold as throttle Class 2 e-bikes grossly exceed these limits. Some can go as fast as 60 miles per hour. To recap, these four things must all be true. A legal e-bike must have a motor equal to or less than 750 watts. Have fully operational pedals. They must work, not just put on for decoration. They must have a class label or sticker displayed. If there's no label, it's an indication that the speed can go higher than intended. And it must stop providing power at 20 miles per hour for Class 1 and Class 2, or 28 miles per hour for Class 3. Anything faster, stronger, or missing those pedals, that's an e-moto, a motor dirt bike for use on private land. But yes, many are being marketed as e-bikes directly to our kids. Marin now has this new law. You must be 16 to ride a Class 2 throttle, no pedaling needed, along with Class 3 pedal assist, and all must wear a helmet. The Class 1 pedal assist can still be ridden by anyone of any age. Along with the maximum speed of 20 miles per hour, it is generally safer because once you stop pedaling, the bike begins to slow down, making speeds and stopping more controllable. Additionally, they are higher off the ground, which means that your student is more visible to motorists. The throttle Class 2 requires more skill and experience to turn down the throttle while simultaneously applying the brakes. Again, the ones that look like a motorcycle are most likely an e-moto, low to the ground, harder to stop, and harder for drivers to see these small kids, especially when cars are making turns. So how are parents getting hoodwinked into purchasing illegal e-motos, which are, again, okay to use on private land like dirt bikes, but are illegal on roads and pathways? These manufacturers know exactly what they are doing. They use the same playbook that once sold cigarettes, alcohol, and vape pens to minors. You'll see ads with young kids popping wheelies, cute dogs help sell products, and subtle messages like, put your helmet on your handlebar so you don't mess up your hair. These are not harmless visuals. They normalize unsafe behavior and send powerful signals that risk-taking is cool and laws don't apply. Take this example of an e-moto with a 1,000-watt motor and a top speed of 28 miles per hour on motor power alone. It is illegal on public roads, pathways, and all public property, which is why they are also banned from school campuses. Class stickers alone can't tell you whether a bike is legal or not. Anyone can buy them. One middle schooler even put 4 of them on his e-moto. But a quick look at the manufacturer's website shows the truth. It has a 2,000-watt motor capable of reaching 37 miles per hour. Now you might say, but my kid's Class 2 e-bike is legal. It's under 750 watts and it's locked at 20 miles per hour. Not true. If it is capable of going over 20 miles per hour on motor power alone and without pedaling, it's an e-moto. Read what one owner of Super 73 said. Super 73 had to make some kind of change to show they were complying with the new law. Thankfully, they chose to contain the change to only their app and not update the controller or display firmware. This leaves the door open for third-party apps to still be able to set the higher speeds, even on bikes sold after January 1st, 2025. So they are doing us a favor in a roundabout sort of way. Additionally, Mill Valley and Central Marin police have seen students fleeing at around 45 miles an hour, a criminal offense that stays on their record and might ultimately impact their ability to get into college and on sports teams in the future. Additionally, students are exposed to online influencers. Here's the catch. Retailers and online influencers, some with millions of followers, are showing how to unlock the e-motos to go faster. They glorify reckless stunts, mock the police, and fuel a dangerous culture of rule breaking. Even good kids can buckle under peer pressure. It's like asking them to ignore their phone when it dings. The peer pressure pull is way too strong at this age. There are a lot of social media influencers glorifying breaking the laws, all the while being given free product from manufacturers, while your child is being scammed into thinking this is cool. This is not unique to Marin, as is evident by this information from another county's law enforcement. In a nutshell, gas-powered mopeds and other motorized vehicles, including e-motos, are not allowed on sidewalks, bike lanes, or multi-use pathways, and you must be 16 years old with a special driver's license. The e-moto must also be equipped with mirrors and lights. But of course, most manufacturers are not building and selling them as e-mopeds. They are with the necessary equipment. So you cannot go to the DMV and get it registered. You cannot get insurance for them, and they are considered personal property, not a vehicle. Parents are now carrying the burden of responsibility. Failure to comply with this law is considered child endangerment. Again, no one is allowed to ride an e-moto on a multi-use pathway, regardless of age or physical size. That means law enforcement is legally allowed to stop anyone on a moped, a motorcycle, or an e-moto riding along this pathway. A pedestrian and other cyclists are well within their right to sue if a crash occurs with one of these e-motorcycles. Cycling instructors also are not insured to teach anyone on an e-moto. Our insurance would not cover us in the event of an e-moto crash, and we could be held liable. So though we have the knowledge and expertise, we cannot provide the education. The laws are black and white for a reason, to keep our children and our community safe. But the unintended consequences reverberates throughout the community when tragedy strikes. You might think that your child can handle it, but breaking the law does not stop with you. It spreads, pressuring other parents and kids who may not be as lucky. But everyone else's parents let them do it. Think about the impact to other kids as they feel isolated from friend groups, as their peers brag about their being allowed to do something that they shouldn't be doing. In speaking with a group of eighth graders recently, they said, everyone's breaking the law. Well, how confusing and chaotic it must seem to your student if they believe that breaking the law is being normalized in their community. Today, we're talking about e-motos, but there are many other traffic violations that you and your teen will be faced with. Parenting teens is hard. I know, I've raised two in Marin myself. Trust me, I do understand. So where do we draw the line? Right here together. We as a community of parents and cycling advocates need to stand united. We can say no to unsafe products and yes to real independence, safety, and shared responsibility. Let's set the students up for success today, while laws will ultimately hold manufacturers and retailers accountable tomorrow. The latter will take time, but with your help, we can all send a clear message to these manufacturers and retailers. The safety of your children cannot be bought. Here are some additional resources. The Caring Parents E-Bike Survival Guide, sold online, will inform you how to purchase and manage your student's e-bike. Additionally, here is an e-bike contract for you to download and go over with your student to set clear expectations and consequences for behavior. Remember, this is a vehicle, not a toy, and it warrants a thorough review of your expectations for your student. Plus, it will serve as a checklist for what to watch out for with any e-bike, including the disabling or removing of the governor that controls speeds or the loosening of brakes in order to do wheelies. Lastly, Marin has been given an opportunity to pilot a behavior motivation class for your student e-bike safety. This free class is for parents and teens considering purchasing an e-bike or for those who have perhaps been cited by law enforcement. This 2-hour free class, complete with an activity book, is about influencing students to make the right choices and for parents to have a conversation with their teen in a safe and supportive environment. If interested in this class or simply want more information, scan the QR code or follow the more information link. Together, let's keep Marin biking and e-biking safely. Thank you for your attention to this very important message.